Hey there, drone fans. Rick here again from Drone Valley. Well, today's the day. December 23rd, 2025 is the very last day that you'll be able to purchase any new model of DJI drone anywhere in the United States, because the FCC has officially announced that they will no longer approve any application from DJI for their transmission technology, which forms the basis of their drones, their wireless microphones, their camera systems, and a lot of other gear that they manufacture. Now, in this video, I want to talk about two particular issues. And it's hard for me to do that because I get so emotional when I think about the misinformation that led to this ban and all the confusion around it and the naked protectionism that's really at the core of it. So I'd like to separate this video into two different sections. First, I'll talk about how we got here and why it doesn't make any sense from a technical perspective. And then I'll talk about what it means for hobbyists that already own a DJI drone and what the future might look like. Because I have a couple of thoughts on how this may get better in some ways or maybe get worse in other ways. All right, so let's start with how we got here. So a couple of years ago, there were conversations happening at the government level about Chinese drones spying on the US. Now, these weren't official conversations. They were little whispered conversations about, oh, DJI may be spying for China on the drones. And I spent a lot of time analyzing that. And again, I know some people don't like it when I say it, but I'm a degreed engineer. I spent a lot of time around the bits and bytes that make these things fly. I really dove into it deep and I said, before I come out with an opinion on that, let me study the technology. So I spent a lot of time looking at the transmission technology, thinking about if I were a bad guy and I wanted to use a drone to collect information that gave me an advantage, what information could I get from that drone? Well, from a technical perspective, recording video footage takes up a lot of space. There's limited space on the memory cards. And even if I recorded some really juicy information, I would still have to get it to a server in China. And even if that server in China had the ability to drag that data out of my drone, the drone would have to be powered up. I would notice that flow of data to China, because if I'm using my cell phone bill is going to go through the roof. And okay, let's assume they can figure all that out. What good would that information give them? I can't fly in any areas that are security related. I also am only going to fly when I want to fly. It's not like they're controlling my drone. So for a foreign government to trust that me as a consumer is going to put up a drone, film the area they want on a Saturday afternoon when I'm probably out flying over a forest or a lake, it just doesn't give them a lot of bang for the buck. So for me, from a technical perspective, it made very little sense whatsoever. So then I thought, you know what, I'm close with DJI, I'm close with Autel, I'm close with a lot of manufacturers. Let me be the tough guy. Let me ask them questions about, have you guys gone through a security audit? Have you given this to anybody outside of your company to certify that you're not stealing data? And they commissioned two different studies. And I got copies of those studies. Now, these studies were run by outside companies. They weren't DJI. And it wasn't like they had a thumb on the scale. DJI said to these companies, look, instead of us sending you a drone, we want you to walk into any retail establishment you choose, buy a drone at retail with shrink wrapping on it, take it to your lab, unbox it, and run it through its tests. And it was like a 96-page report that came back. They found zero defects. They found zero reasons that the data here could be compromised, could be sent somewhere, could be causing problems. It was interesting to me that it came back clean. The second one came back clean as well. So I said to DJI at that point, why don't you give these reports to the government? And they came back and said, we did. They weren't interested. They didn't care. And the reason they didn't care is that this ban started and ended, and it had nothing to do with security, nothing. And I'll give you a couple of points here before I get into how it started. So if it is about security, why is it only DJI and Autel? There are 100 drone manufacturers that are based in China that make tiny little $10 drones all the way up to $400, $500, $600 drones. None of those are affected. It wasn't all Chinese drones. It was DJI and Autel. So if there's a threat, why are those drones not on the list? Second, why is it only the United States? If these are really a threat to national security, we're partners with a lot of companies all over the world. I should say countries all over the world. Wouldn't we tell Europe about it? Wouldn't we tell Asia about it? Wouldn't we sit down with Canada and England and London and Scotland and say, hey, we did a lot of research on this. These guys are collecting information on the United States. If they're flying in your country, maybe you should ban them as well. Nobody else but us banned them. So you've got this myopic view of one country that's focusing on one company or two companies. So I have to ask the question, why? Why would you do that? Well, it's a pretty simple answer. Because if you think back to like 2016, 2017, there was a rep out of New York, you guys have heard me mention her name before, Elise Stefanik, who came out with all kinds of inflammatory comments about DJI spying for the foreign government. And she made a statement. This is a quote. She vowed at that point to ensure Chinese drones are banned from American skies. So she made it her mission in life to eliminate DJI specifically in the U.S. So I got to wonder, well, what drove that? Why would you do that? So if you start following the money and you start following the relationships, you'll see that people from government started working for Skydio. Skydio's involved with funding political campaigns. So you've got people that are beholden to these special interest groups that are in Washington all the time, influencing our elected officials to make decisions based on their needs. So you get American drone companies that get together, they hire a consulting group, and they hire lobbyists who then talk to vulnerable technology troglodytes, essentially, that don't understand the technology and convince them that they've got something to run on. The public's going to love this. You can have a talk track around this, and then help them with their funding. And then they get into Congress and they start floating this bubble of like, hey, there's danger here. These guys are collecting information. We got to ban them. But only ban DJI and Autel because they occupy 80% of the retail market in the US. Well, why would you do that? Because if you ban these guys, you open that market to American drone companies, which is not a bad thing. I'm not saying we shouldn't have American manufacturing. I would love to have an American company step up, build a drone that competes with these. I would buy that drone. I really would. But they're not. And this nonsense of now that we've eliminated the Chinese companies from competing in the US, all of a sudden the American market is going to blow up. It's going to explode with all these companies that are going to build beautiful drones and they're going to be amazing and they're going to take over the skies. Why did they wait? They've had 10 years. I flew DJI drones going back 12, 15 years ago when it was back to the Phantom 4 V1, or actually the Phantom 1. I have it on my bench in there. I've been flying drones that long. If you're an American drone company, there's nothing stopping you for developing a drone that competes with these drones. You know why they didn't do it? They're not interested in the hobby market. They're interested in the commercial market. They want to sell to police forces, to the armed forces, to rescue squads. And they realized they couldn't build a drone that competed with DJI at the price point that DJI was building the drone. These drones are incredibly sophisticated and they're inexpensive comparatively. So if you're an American drone company like Skydio and some of the others, you would say to yourself, well, if I eliminate the competition, I can build a drone that doesn't have all the features these drones have, and I can charge 10x the price. That's a home run. Let's do that. And that's exactly where this came from. So what you're seeing here on the ban, and I'm going to make this really clear, is pure protectionism. It's nothing more. It's American drone companies that have hired lobbyists, that have talked to politicians that are not technically savvy, who have carried their message into Congress, and they've gotten it approved, and now they're banned. And what's interesting about this little twist that drives me nuts technically, is that the FAA could have done this. The FAA governs everything from the grounds to the heavens. So the FAA could have said with a stroke of a pen, all small commercial UAVs are now banned from flying in the US. The FAA has no problem with it. Matter of fact, the FAA has spent time and treasure coming up with regulations to protect the public, to give us a safe place to fly. They've come up with rules for safety flying. They've instituted remote ID, which identifies the drone and the flyer. So they've done their work. They've done a phenomenal job. You love them, you hate them, I don't care. I think the FAA has done a wonderful job of integrating UAVs into the airspace. They didn't want anything to do with this. So if you're a crafty politician, how do I get around that? How do I get around that? Well, hold on. They have to talk to the controller. The FCC governs that. Let's get the FCC to ban the approval of those transmitters so the drones can't fly. That's perfect. Well, let's break that down for a second. Even though DJI has got really advanced technology called OcuSync, it's really nothing different than standard Wi-Fi. It's 2.4 or 5.8 gigahertz, which is a standard frequency that pretty much everything wireless works on. There are thousands and thousands of companies that use that band for transmissions. What DJI is different about with that technology and the OcuSync technology is that in that band, it'll look for the strongest connection signal in among all the different frequencies in that band, and it'll move between them if it needs to. And that's a technology that's been around for a long time. But again, DJI, brilliant company, took that wave hopping technology and moved it into their drones, which makes them incredibly secure. So if you're flying and interference pops up, the drone will find another frequency to communicate on in advance of losing the signal. That's all standard stuff. There's nothing Chinese about it. It's Wi-Fi. It's 2.4, 5.8 gigahertz Wi-Fi that does frequency hopping. That's it. There's no special sauce. It's used in millions of products that are in the consumer space today. So again, they're going after DJI specifically, and it's all because The American drone companies cannot compete in this market at this price point, and they want to charge more for a drone that does less. That's what it comes down to. And me as a consumer, I don't like when my government steps in and forbids me from buying a drone that I want to fly on a weekend. It's my hobby. I fly with my family. I love flying over forests and the lakes. I'm not doing anything bad. I'm having a lot of fun. And now you're saying, no, you can't use these drones. So for me, I'm really unsettled about my elected officials listening to special interest groups to ban a product that affects me as a consumer when I've done nothing wrong. It's completely legal to fly, and it's only in the US. Let me give you a couple other quotes, and these are important. So the first one, the White House came out with a statement yesterday or today, and they said, this is the FCC they're speaking on behalf. They said the FCC said its decision was based on a determination by a White House convened executive branch interagency body. My God, you talk about word salad, that concluded foreign-made drones and components could enable persistent surveillance, data exfiltration, and destructive operations over U.S. territories. All right, so if that were factually true, which is not even close to the point, and I explained why a minute ago, why not all drones? Why just these guys? Why just these guys on Autel? It's about eliminating the competition so U.S. companies can take advantage of that. And then Brendan Carr, who, I don't want to get started on that because I'm going to get in a whole lot of trouble, but not a lot of respect for the guy. He came out with a statement and he said, the FCC will work closely with U.S. drone makers to unleash an American drone dominance, the commission chairman said in a statement. My question to him and to the American drone companies he's talking about, why the hell did you wait? You could have been building these drones for the last 10 or 12 years. You could have licensed technology and improved your technology to release an American-built drone that competes with these guys on a level playing field at a price that's reasonable. Why did you wait? If that's true, where were you for the last decade? So again, I'm getting worked up. If you look closely at the details, and I'll mention this, and I talked about it in another clip, and I don't want to get into trouble over this, but I got to say it, it's public information. The president's son just joined the board of directors for a US-based drone company. The man has no technical abilities whatsoever. I'm not sure he could put a battery into a flashlight correctly, but he's on the board of directors. To me, that seems like dirty politics when the son of the president is on the board of directors for an American drone company that's effectively banning the competition so they can swoop in and take over that market space. Now, do you not think for a minute, now you can say there's no conflict of interest, nonsense. Do you not think that over dinner, Junior is going to mention to Daddy that they need a little help with this drone company? Of course he is. So there's all kinds of bad stuff going on here, and it's all political. So for me, I don't care about the politics. What I care about is my hobby. I want to fly. I want to put my drones up and just have a great afternoon and relieve my stress and just fly the drone and be peaceful. I can't do that anymore. So let me get to the second part of this. I've said enough about that. I've got a link below where you can actually contact your congressman because I think there are still opportunities for DJI if they get up off the bench, because I've been after them a while to get in there and start fighting about this. And I know they've been trying. But they got to get involved. But there's a link below where you can actually voice your concern to your congressman or your senator. I have very little faith under the current administration that any of this is going to change. I think there may be a chance in 3 years or a little over 3 years when the administration changes again, where we may get some sanity back in Washington, where we're not relabeling the Kennedy Center and and building the Trump class of battleships and all the other nonsense going on. I think there'll be a chance where saner minds will prevail, and they'll look at this as what it is protectionism. All right, so the second part of this is what happens if you own a DJI drone? Well, the good news is the FCC at this point is only applying this refusal to approve for new drones that are released. So anything DJI is going to come out with from now on will not even get a look from the FCC, which means they can't release it in the United States. So any new drones, I don't know what's coming. Well, I don't know, maybe there's a Mavic 6 coming, maybe there's a Mini 6 coming, maybe there's another Neo, could be another Rivada 360, something coming there. You're not going to get it in the States. You can get it everywhere else in the world, but you're not going to get it in the States. Well, what if you own these drones today? Anything you own today is fine. Fly it, have fun, no issues whatsoever. You're not going to get hassled. It's already been approved. Now, the scary part of that is the FCC in their regulations has the ability to retroactively ban approvals they've already done. I'm hoping they don't do that. Never in the history of the country have they done that. So that would be an unprecedented step. I'm not saying it's outside of their reach. I think if the older DJI drones, which are incredibly functional, are still competing effectively in the U.S. market, and those American drone companies don't get the bigger chunk of it, you may see them reach back and rescind some of those older approvals. But I'm praying. I'm not a very religious man, but I am praying that they don't do that. I want it to be a level playing field from here on out. I will caution you that I think it's a low likelihood, but if you somehow acquire a drone in the future that hasn't been approved for flight in the U.S., you could be in trouble if you get caught flying it, because the FCC, if they haven't approved it, you're using an unlicensed transmission technology in the U.S. And I think back to my days as a younger man when CB radios were all the rage, right? And I had a CB radio in my car and went at home and a breaker, I'm talking to people. At that point, they had things called linears, which took the standard transmission of a CB radio and amplified it 50, 100 times. So you're effectively a radio station where you could talk to somebody in Portugal. Well, those were illegal because they were beyond the reach of what the FCC had approved for that band. And some people got in trouble with that. I'm not saying they're going to hunt you down. I'm a fan of freedom. I'm a fan of, if you're not breaking the law and you're not hurting somebody and you're not causing a hassle, just live your life and have fun. Flying drones is a lot of fun. And I don't feel like I'm hurting anybody. I don't feel like I'm breaking the laws. I have to respect this because it's a law in the U.S. at this point. But, fly your drones and have fun. Going forward, I think DJI is still working on this because there was a provision in that regulation that allowed approvals to be granted on an exemption basis. So maybe they're still working to get that done. I really think they're lobbying the government, who probably has no interest in it because of all the things I've mentioned already, to try and change that. I don't know if there's much hope for that to happen. I think what you will see, though, is you'll see some of this technology, and you're already seeing it, being licensed to other companies for release in the U.S. So if the crash avoidance technology or the autopiloting technology, or who knows, maybe the frequency hopping technology gets built into other drones by other companies, I'm looking at you, Sky Rover, and a few others, you may still see that technology make its way to the U.S., but I would caution against buying drones out of country to bring them in that haven't been FCC approved. But if you're flying a DJI drone today, keep flying it, keep getting out there in the field, talk to your elected representatives, because this can't stand. And to me, it's an embarrassment as an American to have our politicians be this weak with lobbyists and special interests and money and elections. And I mean, I elected you to go there to represent me as a consumer. If I'm paying my taxes, which basically you get to spend it on the things that matter. Lower the food prices, keep gas at a reasonable level, secure our borders, make sure our military has what they need, make sure the people that need it get it, help us with the health insurance, all the things all of us care about every day. Quit worrying about this kind of nonsense just so a few people can make a ton of money selling drones at an elevated price that are less effective. And that's just my 2 cents on it. Now, I probably will have a couple more clips on this because, man, I got a lot of angst, and I'm trying to tamp it down today because I don't want to sound like a raving maniac. But there's a lot of angles to this that need to be explored, and I'll talk about it on the channel. So if you have any questions or opinions, try to keep the politics out of it for now. Drop those in the comments below, because I view this as a community, and if we don't stick together, there's a quote, if we don't stand together, we will surely hang individually, right? We've got to stay together. So anything I can do to help there. If there's anybody out there that happens to watch this clip that needs me to get up in front of a microphone with a government agency or elected official, I'm more than happy to have a rational conversation, and I can bring all the data I need to bring to show you just how much hooey is involved in this decision. And that's all I really had for today. So thank you so much for listening to me ramble on for 15 minutes here. But it matters a lot to me. I'm sure it matters to you. And I know there are bigger issues in the country right now that are going on. But this one can't stand the way it is. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So thank you very much. I hope you have a great holiday. I hope you get out and fly your drones a lot. And until next time, as always, happy flying.